Recently, during the current year 22-23, the rupee values depreciating. Because of that, the prices of goods imported are increasing and the exporters are gaining. Because of high value of dollar compared to Indian rupee, the beneficiaries are exporters and the losers are consumers who use the imported goods in India. Who are the, let us see, who are the beneficiaries and losers because of rupee depreciation in its value against US dollar. Information technology companies are the biggest gainers as they bill most clients in dollars. The Americas, including the United States, contribute about 50 to 60% of total revenue. Because of billing in dollars, the information technology companies are going to be highly benefited and the billing for American clients by information technology companies will be around 50 to 60% of total information technology services exported. A 100 basis point fall in the rupee against the dollar translates into a 30 basis point operating margin benefit for information technology companies. The most beneficial are because of rupee depreciation are the information technology service providers or information technology companies. IT companies on an average could see a 110 basis point operating margin expansion in the current quarter. Some of the gains are being offset by other cross currency headwinds. Of course, Indian value depreciated against the US dollar, but whereas when compared to other currencies of other countries, Indian rupee is strengthening. Because of that, the Indian IT company exports in US dollars, billed in US dollars, their gains may be set off against the losses because of rupee appreciated against other currencies. Pharma companies. Rupee depreciation is in general positive as the industry is a net exporter. However, the exact impact will be depend on the segment, geography, and the import dependence on inputs. Impact will be drug companies with large formulation exports, especially to the United States, will stand gain. 1 rupee depreciation versus dollar will add 0.1 to 0.15% to the margins of domestic focused formulation companies. Players to face cost escalation and margin pressure. And another one is garments. With sizable United States exports, the garment sector is a net gainer. However, given the sharp drop in demand from the United States and the European Union, business may not be great beneficial. Impact will be those with good orders, export orders, order books will make gains from Indian currency depreciation. For every 1% fall in rupee value, profit increases by 0.25% to 0.5% of the exports in the garment sector. Another sector is tea. Big gainer as India usually exports nearly 230 million kg of teas or around 16% of what it produces to countries such as Russia, Iran, the United States, the UK, Germany, Japan, Poland, and other countries. The impact will be top line growth is likely to be around 5% more during the year 22-23. Margins expected to get 2 to 3% lift from currency depreciation, increases the global competitiveness of Indian tea, increasing the opportunity of more exports. Another sector is renewable energy. Indian solar plants depend heavily on imported solar cells and modules. Projects may turn unviable due to exchange rate changes between time of bids and finalization of equipment supply and other contracts. Impact will be every rupee one fall in versus dollar exchange leads to 2 paisa unit increase in tariff. This will increase, this will, renewable energy sector will be more affected adversely because of because of depreciation of rupee value, because of increase in import cost of solar cells and modules. Also, the project viability concerns for those under execution. Also, there may be a possibility of delays. Another sector, oil and gas. The most affected sector, as India imports over 85% of oil and half of the gas it consumes. Margins come under pressure if higher cost due to depreciation cannot be passed on. The impact will be rupee profit boost for domestic producers, that is ONGC, Oil India, Vedanta, Reliance Industries Limited, as well as fuel exporters like RIL, Nayara. Purchase cost will rise for crude imports that affects the companies of Indian Oil, BPCL, HPCL, RIL, Nayara, as well as gas importers, Gas Authority of India, and GSPC. Margin pressures if cost cannot be passed on. And another sector, the auto. Vehicle makers largely import components from China, Japan, and Southeast Asia, compensated by the rising export of finished vehicles. The impact on auto sector is normally neutral because of rising cost of imports supported by the rising demand of export of the finished vehicles. Component exporters also will gain. The components industry recorded a trade surplus of $700 million for the first time last financial year, with exports increasing to 43% to a record of $19 billion. The impact is cars in general more expensive, margins under pressure, but exports can cushion the impact. Exact impact will depend on inputs purchased and level of exports. Components exporters will gain, those serving domestic market will face margin pressure. Another sector is steel. About 60% of inputs for the steel sector are dollar linked. The upside from exports is less now, as there has been a 60% drop from a year earlier because of export duty levied in May and lower global prices. Because of reduction in imports due to levy of export duty, the imports have reduced to 60%. That made the steel sector to reduce its losses effect due to rupee depreciation against dollar. What is the impact on steel sector? Impact depends upon the cost structure and import needs of producers. Those with substantial exports will gain, and those with substantial imports will incur loss. Other sector, FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. Raw materials including crude and palm oil derivatives are imported and account for nearly half of input cost. Impact will be imported products, especially cosmetics, watches, and apparel, could become costlier. Exact margin impact will depend upon the ability to pass on depreciation costs. Premium segment is not price sensitive and may not see pressure from depreciation. Next one is consumer electronics. Around 40 to 60% of total input costs, including components, are imported. Impact will be may escape immediate impact as stock from the festival season already arrived, decline in commodity prices, logistic cost has reduced pressure, further depreciation may impact margins if demand reduces. Another is the aviation sector. Jet fuel, lease payments, maintenance, and overall costs, along with aircraft purchases, are typically priced in dollars. For that reason, all these costs will improve, it will become more costly, and it will reduce the margins of aviation sector. What is the impact? The impact will be the because of rupee depreciation, day by day cost of operations will increase, squeezing reducing profit and cash balances. Will impact profitability of airlines, may make overseas tickets prices more expensive, demand that will affect demand and margin also. Next sector is telecom service. Telcos spend around $6 billion annually importing network gear. Impact may be partly offset as telcos also buy in euros and pounds from countries other than United States, which have been both recently depreciated against the rupee. The impact will be weaker rupee could push up the capital expenditure bill by 5% in financial year 2023. Rupee fall versus dollar to also increase telcos interest payouts in dollar debt. Telcos to raise prices by around 8 to 10% margin pressure if usage drops. But the telecom services also margins are affected positively because of the telcos also import from countries other than the United States like European countries, British pound, UK, and other countries where Indian rupee is appreciated against other country currencies other than US dollars.